most real cities, you'll find orderly streets, organized buildings, and carefully planned infrastructure. But in Disco Elysium, Revachol City is a whole different story. Crumbling structures, unpredictable layouts, and chaotic decay. Let's dive into this kind of environment and see how it impacts the people who live, work, and move through this city every day. We begin at the docks with a wooden jetty, a typical example of marine infrastructure. Its worn-out appearance shows damage from weathering, neglect, and exposure to moisture, salt water, and decay. These vertical supports are pile foundations, likely made of wood. Just like the jetty's plank walkways, they are made of the same materials. The jetty looks weak and its ability to hold weight is uncertain. A real-life structural assessment might show it cannot handle heavy loads, risking collapse or instability. The jetty sits in stagnant, brackish water, which speeds up the growth of algae and barnacles, putting more strain on the weakened wood. Without protective coatings, the wood weakens over time due to repeated wetting and drying cycles, leading to splitting and decay of material. As we go up the staircase, the sides appear to be made of concrete, but they have collapsed, leaving an exposed reinforcement bar sticking out of the column. This is a major safety hazard as people could trip or fall and get injured by the sharp rebars. This appears to be a dockside crane or marine crane, typically used to lift heavy loads like boats or containers near water. In real life, such cranes are crucial for loading and unloading vessels. However, looking more closely, it seems the crane might not be able to rotate because it is blocked by metal stands for the roof railings. This makes the crane unusable for now. The crane likely suffers from material fatigue or rust due to prolonged exposure to the marine environment. While cranes are made of strong steel, constant saltwater weather and lack of maintenance can cause significant wear on the materials, reducing their efficiency and capacity. The crane's operational state could represent a safety hazard if it's not maintained properly or if it's structurally compromised. The crane could fail under heavy load, leading to dangerous situations. In front of us is a wooden bridge, which has seen better days. It would take a lot of convincing before I personally walk across this bridge. If a wooden bridge is attached to a concrete wall or floor, we need to consider how it is secured. Possible methods include anchor bolts, which are large bolts embedded in the concrete to hold the wooden structure. Then there is steel brackets, which are metal plates fixed to the concrete with expansion anchors supporting the wood. It is also possible to use epoxy adhesives, which are strong bonding agents securing wood directly to the concrete. Then there is the possibility of embedded posts, which are wooden beams inserted into a pre-made concrete slots for stability of this bridge. The broken concrete below suggests that the accessway was once a concrete platform, but since no repairs were made, people likely built a temporary wooden bridge as a quick fix to keep the access open. Let's get inside one of these houses and see the interior works. This is what we call a G+1 building, meaning it has a ground floor and one floor above it. If you see a B plus G plus 1, it means the building also has a basement floor below the ground floor. The ground floor has a mix of tile and wood patterns, but it is possible that tiles cover the entire floor with floor mat placed on top in some areas. These vertical poles appear to be columns supporting the upper floor. However, they seem quite thin which raises a concern about their ability to support the weight of the heavy furniture upstairs. The upper floor seems to be made of wood, a common practice to keep the structure lighter and reduce the load on the foundation below the building. We are now back outside the house and we can see that the window here is replaced with wood, which could tell us that there has been damage or they are trying to do renovation. Given the snowy conditions in this place, it's interesting to consider what insulation lies behind the timber, as the cold winters could affect the interior. Here we can see a massive crack in the ground, likely caused by the freeze-thaw cycles, wherein water seeps into small cracks, freezes, expands, and worsens the damage. We are now at a roundabout surrounded by stationary cars, possibly due to an accident or just abandonment. Let's talk about this horse riding statue in the middle of the roundabout. It looks like it is made of stone with steel reinforcements. Some parts of the horse are shattered, which could be a safety hazard if it continues to fall apart. We can also notice ropes or cables holding the statue in place. These are tension cables, which function to stabilize the structure and prevent it from tipping or collapsing. There's a person here selling books or magazines under a demolished house, which could be risky if pieces of debris fall on the vendor or cause other hazards like structural instability or further collapse of these walls. The colorful floor designs look great if you like rainbow colors. And we can see under the benches there are holes or grills, likely used for stormwater drainage. Stormwater drainage helps collect and remove rainwater to prevent flooding and water damage to the surroundings. Once the rainwater is collected from stormwater drainage, it can be discharged directly into the sea or bodies of water if the local regulations allow it. It is common for an outfall pipe to be used for this purpose. Let's observe some people here in Revachol City. Here we see a person sleeping by the handrails with a bag of chips on the floor. I don't have anything against people who eat chips. My wife enjoys them from time to time. As for me, I don't eat them as much. Here's a lady sitting hunched forward. It is usually helpful to sit up straight to avoid straining your posture. We are in the middle of a crowd of what seems to be a rally or strike from the workers. This also happens in the construction industry where I am working, especially if the people are not being paid on time for a long duration and are still being expected to show up and give their maximum physical labor efforts under the heat of the sun. Now that we have explored Revachol City, it's clear that this place is nothing like a well-planned, organized city, but that is actually intentional. It's a brilliant reflection of the harsh realities that some parts of the world face today. The broken roads, crumbling buildings, and messy layouts make daily life unpredictable. In real cities, good design makes things easier, but here, chaos is part of everyday life, and that's what makes Revachol stand out. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.